Well, then tell me why she had to die, Marty. Everybody here knows so much. Please, tell me why she had to die. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Look, we understand.
Yeah, well, I don't. And I don't know if I ever will. The only thing that got me through last night was knowing that I could honor her last request. And now that that's legal, I'll make sure that Andrew and Cassie get this baby.
Okay. Look, now, Jason, just because Beth signed that piece of paper, that doesn't mean that her aunt and uncle aren't going to want legal
No way. God, I'm telling you, no way, all right?
Okay.
I gave her my word, and I'm not about to go back on it. Now, if I have to, I will go over there and I will get that baby myself.
The police agree my mother's diary and letters are genuine, but Vicky still isn't buying it.
The woman is pathetic. She's so eaten up with revenge she can't see the truth when it's staring her in the face.
Well, I told her I'm going to the DA and ask him to reopen the case, and I'll go with her or without her. Dorian, somebody's at the door. I'll call you later.
We're not finished. Just get rid of them.
Vicky, I wasn't expecting to see you today.
I didn't actually expect to be here. Thank you. I hardly slept at all last night, David. I kept thinking over and over about everything that you said. And now finally I know what I have to do.
Okay, Jason, now, you can't just go over to the Garveys and take the baby.
Really? Well, what the hell is the matter with you people? You wanted the baby. You tried like hell to get him when she was alive. Now that she's dead, what, you don't want him anymore? Is that what I'm hearing?
Jason, that's not what Andrew's saying. Jason, you listen to me. Now, there's a big part of me that wants to go over to the Garveys and take River back home. But the Garveys loved Beth like a daughter. And losing her is extremely painful. I cannot ask them to give up the only thing they have left of her, not now.
Well, what about the promises that we made her, Cassie? What about the promises that I made her?
Listen to me. I know that you feel you have to do this for Beth, maybe somehow to make up for everything you couldn't do to keep her alive. But you're being too hard on yourself. You were her best friend and more.
It's not enough. It's just not enough.
Jason, you saved Beth from tossing her whole life away.
It doesn't matter. I mean, what I did for her, it doesn't matter anymore. She's dead. And she asked for one last favor, and it wasn't about her. It was about her baby. It was her dying wish. And I can't even help her with that anymore.
Sweetheart, look, I'm really sorry. I wish there was something I could say.
It's not just Beth. You know, it's, we've had 2 other deaths, and several more patients are either serious or in critical condition.
Wait a minute. Look, sweetheart, there's just so much you can give, all right? Come on, let Ben and Larry and the rest of the staff take on some of the load. Hey, there's a lot more to life than just Landview Hospital. Hey.
There is?
Yeah.
God, you sound like me talking to you.
And there's no more murder trial and no more letting this flu epidemic, or whatever you want to call this thing, get in the way of our plans.
And what plans might they be?
Oh, my. How quickly we forget. Remember, once upon a time, we talked about a wedding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those plans.
Those plans.
Yes.
And just to make sure you don't forget about me, I think that we should set a date. If there's no objection.
Yes, there is. That we waited so long.
Yeah.
Hank! Oh.
Oh, baby.
Sometimes you know exactly what I need.
Yeah, well, I'm getting better. So, what do you say? Is August too soon?
August, Tank, with our schedules? Look, I mean, we've got the invitations, my dress, the bridesmaids, the foods, the flowers, the church, the...
Okay. All right, fine. How about September?
Like, let's make it October, just to be on the safe side.
Deal.
October 7th.
Yeah. Shoes, rice, champagne, honeymoon. Babies.
Wait a minute. One thing at a time.
Is that me?
No, it's me. Hope this isn't another emergency.
Yeah. And I hope it's not October 7th before I see you again.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm going to have to get back to you.
David, wait. Isn't that Vicky?
I hope I didn't interrupt something important.
Nope, obviously not. Now, what did you decide? Oh, come on, Vicky. You wouldn't have come all the way over here if you hadn't made a decision one way or the other. Either you believe me and you're going to go to Hank Gannon's office with me, or you
There's
just
a
don't...
third possibility, David. That I trust your evidence, but I do not trust you. The fact that you had all these secret meetings with Dorian...
Vicky, I explained that. I told you I went to see her to...
Yes, I know. To check her out, to judge her for yourself.
Right.
Well, that may be true. Maybe. Unfortunately, you see, I learned a long time ago never to trust Dorian. So I just apply that rule to anyone associated with her.
That's okay. You can think whatever you want. The evidence,
The
on
evidence,
the other hand...
yes, the evidence. Irene's diary, especially the last entry, which reads like a murder confession.
Vicky, it is a murder confession. You can't deny that.
I cannot deny that it is very, very persuasive. And so are you, David. And so I have to admit that there is a very real possibility that Irene was the killer.
Well, the question is, what are you going to do about it?
There is only one thing I can do. Despite my personal feelings for Dorian, I cannot let her sit on death row one more second if she's innocent. So I am going to go to see Hank Gannon with you. Because, God help me, I think the case has to be reopened.
Jason, maybe this would be a good time for us to say a prayer for Beth. Marty?
Hey. Come on.
Dear God, we ask you to take care of our good friend Beth Garvey. Give her peace. We know that she was only here for a short time, but it was time enough for us to love her and to be loved by her. We thank you for her life and for the life that lives on in her baby and in us. Amen.
Amen. You know, this may sound strange, but Beth was very lucky. A lot of people, they grow old and they die without finding someone like you, Jason. You really were the best friend she could ever have.
So, you have any plans? I guess you'll be staying in Lambview a while.
Yeah, I just see what comes, I guess.
more than a friend. And I didn't realize it till it was too late. I loved her. And she loved me. I wanted so much for her. She deserved so much. It wasn't easy for her, you know, and she fought for everything. I mean, she looked fragile, but she wasn't, you know. She, fought so hard to make something of herself and to give her baby a future. That's why this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Why couldn't she fight some germ? You know, some tiny little virus. Why? Why wasn't she strong enough to do that?
Here's the strangest part, Larry. Now, since the outbreak began, we've admitted dozens of patients. Now, these 16 already had their flu shots, including the 3 that died.
It's incredible.
We gotta stop this thing, and we can if we get the resources we need. Trouble is...
Trouble is what?
You're pretty high up there. You'll think I'm being a hothead again, mixing it up with the
I
administration.
think you're being a doctor, Ben. Now talk to me.
It's that paperclip counter that took over last spring.
You talking about Grace Atherton?
Yeah.
Look, Ben, I know she rubs people the wrong way, but she's very dedicated.
She's dedicated, all right, to saving money, saving lives. Now, that's a whole other thing. Every time I ask pathology to run a test, I got to go justify myself
Look,
to
it's
her.
her job to be cost efficient. Now, that may not be what you want to hear,
No,
but...
I am all for keeping costs down, but we're on the brink of an epidemic here. We got to pour everything into fighting this virus before it claims victim number 4.
Okay, Ben, I'm on your side. Whatever you need, whatever it requires, you got it.
All right, well, tell Miss Atherton, will you? Because she's more into pleasing the board of directors than
Ben,
preventing...
I said I was on your side, all right? Now, you listen to me. I'm going to tell you something that they probably mention in medical school, but sometimes young doctors forget. Sooner or later, you're going to run up against a disease you think is more powerful, is stronger than you are, and sometimes it is. And sometimes you just got to acknowledge that you're human and you just can't save the whole world all the time. But you can do the very best you can do, Ben.
Yeah. And that's what scares me the most. What if our best isn't good enough?
I knew you couldn't ignore the evidence, Vicky. Not forever. You are not going to regret this.
May I have that in writing?
If it's any consolation, there's pain for me, too. I've done everything I could to avoid this. I mean, I'm about to have to go down to the district attorney and accuse my own mother of murder, so thank you. I'm glad I'm not going to have to do this alone.
Well, the sooner we get this over with, the better.
Wait, you know, I told you before I couldn't care less about being a member of the Lord family, the prestige and the money. I don't care about that. But I do care about you. You're my sister, and I'm just glad that we're in this together.
Woody the tree farmer for Hillshire.
David, we are not together. I don't yet know the real reason why you brought me that evidence.
Vicky, why
Let
do you...
me finish, please. But I cannot ignore your story. Until it is proven or disproven, it has to be taken seriously, and that's why I'm going to the district attorney's office with you. My conscience won't let me do otherwise. But the mere fact that you have Irene's diary, or that you know how she spoke, or some things that she said, that does not yet prove that you are my brother.
I guess I can't force you to believe me.
No, I guess you can't.
Still, there is a way in which we are together. Call it conscience if you want. We have to set things right.
Yes. Do you want to get that?
Yeah, it'll just take a second. Hello?
How dare you hang up on me? Do you know how hard it is for me to get to a phone?
Listen, I'm halfway out the door.
With Vicky or alone? Please, David, I've got to know. Is Vicky going with you to Hank's office?
Well, listen, I appreciate that you're pressed for time. So am I. As a matter of fact, there's someone waiting for me. We have an appointment with the district attorney. I'll call you later.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Of course. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, boy. You would think that the hospital could survive at least one day without you?
Same way the DA's office survives without you.
Touche. All right. You got a point there. But listen, now that we've set the date, nothing, not even the bubonic plague, is going to stop this wedding. Hey, come on, baby. I'm only teasing, all right? But it's not that serious, is it?
Yes. It is to Ben. You know, he's taking every loss as if it's his own personal failure. You know, especially Beth.
Listen, sweetheart, let me tell you something about your brother. He is lucky to have you for a sister.
Yeah, a lot of help I am.
Hey, come on, wait a minute now. If you hadn't stepped in when he was a kid, he wouldn't have made it through high school, much less med school. Now, you made a difference. Hey, I'd give anything if I could have done that for my brother.
Hank Gannon. Now, you better stop blaming yourself for his mistakes. From what you told me, you tried hard. Now, RJ made his own choices.
Yeah, but the wrong choices, all right? I mean, if I hadn't been so busy trying to make something of myself, well, I might have stopped it at the first before he got hooked up with that gang.
Hank. Look, you are not responsible for
But
him.
Sheila, somebody's got to be. I mean, look, it's just a short hop from hanging with the gang and carrying a gun to armed robbery to prison. Look, RJ, he got on that fast track, and he just never got off. And yeah, baby, I tried, but I failed.
Did someone approve this purchase?
No, ma'am, but we were out of crayons.
A case of crayons? What possible use could you have for 24 boxes of crayons?
Sometimes children are alone in the waiting area. They get bored and restless, so we give them coloring books. And I thought...
Well, I'd appreciate it if the next time you get a brilliant idea, you came to me. Understood? Now, here's an easy one. Where's Sheila Price? I just came from her office and she's not there.
Dr. Morgenthau called her. She's on her way.
Tell her I'd like to speak with her as soon as possible. You can manage that, can't you? Yes, sir, may I help you?
That's very kind of you, ma'am, but, well, no, thank you. I'm just waiting for a friend.
Sorry I took it out on you guys. You should have kicked me out of my ear.
No.
Hey, listen, can you do me a favor and give me a call if you feel like talking?
Yeah, thank you. I'll get that.
Thank you, Jason.
Hello, Jason.
Mrs. Garvey.
We're here to see the Carpenters.
There's something we have to tell them.
Yeah.
May we come in, Reverend?
Yes, of course. Please, come in.
Sweetheart.
Cass, we've got some visitors. Cass.
Maybe we should have called first, but we've been up all night. We couldn't stop thinking about...
Please, would you like to sit down?
No. We have to say this for Beth's sake.
We know what her wishes were. We want to do the right thing, but that isn't always easy to know.
We've done a lot of soul searching, and we've come to a decision. We believe we know what's best for River and his future.
Introducing the most colorful paper towels ever. We loved Beth like a daughter. And when we lost her...
All we could think of was the baby. River's all we have left. We didn't even want to leave him with a babysitter when we came to see you.
No.
We love him, and this decision is probably the most difficult decision we'll ever make.
Mr. Garvey, we understand, and there's no reason to rush into the decision. We all need some time.
No, Reverend. Time will only make this harder.
We can't give River to his mother, but we can honor her last request. Andrew, Cassie, if Beth wanted you to adopt her baby, then we won't stand in the way.
Are you saying that you will assign the adoption rights to us?
Well, if you haven't changed your mind about having him.
Changed our mind. No. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know what to say, but thank you.
Thank you. We will.
We understand.
Always take care of him and love him.
Promise we will.
If you ever want to see him at any time.
Andrew and Cassie, we're the best two people for this child.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jason.
It's okay.
Goodness.
Well, I guess
everybody
we
loves
have
you.
to wait to see what the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is going to say in their final decision.
Well, we'll make sure that they know how we feel and how Beth felt.
And,
It's all right.
until the court makes it official, we're going to take River back to Ohio with us for the funeral.
Sure.
I'd like to go with you.
I think we would all like that if it's all right with you. We can show our respect for Beth and give us a little bit of time to get reacquainted with you, little fella.
Well, we'll call you later today when we know all the details.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I think we'd better get this little man home.
Okay. Well, kiss bye-bye.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Guess we're going to see a lot of you.
Okay.
We'll walk you out.
It's nap time. Nap time, yeah. Say bye-bye. See you soon.
Thank you again.
I know.
Is this really happening? Is it really happening?
If it's a dream, we're having the same night.
I'm going to the hospital.
You're not feeling badly, are you?
No, Marty, I'm healthy as a horse. I'm just gonna go to talk to some of the doctors, and I'm not leaving till I get some answers.
I'll go with you to the car.
Hey. Oh, thank you.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna walk into the car.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason, so much. Oh. It's all right to be happy, isn't it? I mean, I don't think it's a sin.
Oh, Andrew. Andrew, I want to tell everybody. I want to share this with the whole world. I want to tell my mother. And you understand, don't you?
Cassie, if you want to ride out to Statesville on a camel, I wouldn't stop you. Oh, honey, okay, now, I'm just trying to keep my mind here on the fact we got procedures to go through. We got a home study that we have to pass before we can adopt
Andrew, I don't
this
care about
baby.
that. I don't care about what some
But we have
government
to think
agency
about
says
that.
about us, Andrew. No. Beth Garvey wants us to have her baby. Her aunt and uncle want us to raise her baby, Andrew. That's all I need to know. Oh, Andrew, this baby was meant to be ours.
Larry, I heard you were back. Not a moment too soon.
Miss Atherton,
I've been
we're
fighting
right
a
in the middle.
one-woman battle in your absence.
Yeah, well, Ben's been telling me about this flu. It certainly is a battle.
I'm talking about the inefficiency that's running rampant in this hospital.
Now, Miss Atherton, Dr. Wolick agrees with me that right now, finding a cure supersedes everything else. Now, the pathology lab needs to be putting in extra hours.
Oh, Harry, do you hear what he
And
said?
we could also use a researcher or a medical investigator assigned specifically to deciphering this virus and figuring out how to stop it.
Maybe you think we print money around here, Doctor.
No, I think we treat patients around here. What, is it now more cost-effective to let them die?
Ben, I think you've got the wrong impression of my friend Grace here. But she's not a bean counter. Straight out of Harvard Business School, she worked wonders with a big city hospital in New Orleans, literally saving it from bankruptcy. At the same time, Grace, I've got to agree with Ben. When it comes to decisions affecting the quality of treatment, and that's up to the medical staff. And in this case, we've got to do everything possible to deal with this epidemic.
Of course you do, Larry. I certainly understand that.
Okay, thanks. You let me know what you need. I gotta go check with Mom.
Yeah, super. I'll let you know, Larry. Thanks.
You can lose that smug smile, Doctor. It's time we got a few things straight. Oh, Sheila.
Yes.
Watch out. The Wicked Witch was looking for you.
Oh, just what I need. Another lecture from Grace Atherton. Thanks a lot, Molly.
Excuse me, is this where you get the flu shots?
I'm sorry. The time to get vaccinated is before the bug hits.
Well, maybe if you can tell me what the symptoms are, I'll know if I have something to worry about.
I'm not a doctor, but I'll be happy to refer you to one.
Actually, I'm only here to see one person, and that's you, Sheila Price.
This is Fast Eddie. He's a big boy now. He drinks fast and he wets.
I'm willing to overlook your disregard for protocol. After all, you're still young. You've got a lot to learn.
I don't claim to know all the answers, Miss Atherton.
Good. Then stick to the rules. 1, when you have a problem, take it to me, not over my head.
Even if you're my problem?
2, don't panic and decide to throw money at every outbreak of illness that comes
We're
along.
talking about an epidemic.
A possible epidemic. The county health department has yet to
Oh, you'd
rule
rather
if
wait
this is
until there's
anything.
what, a 4th fatality? A 5th? A 6th? What is the magic figure here, Miss Atherton? When do human lives start counting more than balancing your budget?
The key word is balance, Doctor, something you obviously know nothing about. I've seen the parade of indigent patients you've brought into this hospital.
We are talking about sick people. Don't they count?
That's why there's a county hospital, Doctor. St. Margaret's, remember? They specialize in charity cases. We don't. We are a private facility dependent upon a board of directors.
Gosh, and here I thought it was the Hippocratic Oath.
Balance, Doctor. The needs of the patient versus the realities of the modern healthcare industry.
Well, maybe you're in an industry, lady. I'm in medicine.
Don't kid yourself, Ben. They go hand in hand. It's my job to make sure of that.
Well, why don't you go do your job and let me do mine?
Keeping tabs on you is part of my job. That's what the Board of Governors expects of me. So don't think that your friend Larry Oltl can protect you. If you want a future here at Landview Hospital, you'll do it my way. Have a nice day, Doctor.
Glover's the name. Just think hand in glove.
Mr. Glover, how did you know my name?
Please, Jimmy. And if you're going to ask me how I know who you are, well, that's easy. It says so on your badge. That picture doesn't do you justice.
You said you were looking for me. Why? I mean, do you have some specific problem?
Yes, ma'am. See, it starts with my heart. It starts racing, and then my temperature shoots up, and then I start to feel weak in the knees.
Have you seen a doctor?
No, ma'am. I've seen you.
I'm a busy woman. If you need to see a doctor about flu symptoms, I can give you a referral.
It's a start.
Her name is Dr. Susan Olansky. She's an excellent GP. Unless you have a problem being examined by a woman.
Depends on the woman. Nice rock. Is there a fiancé attached?
Yes, there is.
Is he ever out of town? A traveling salesman, maybe?
No, he's the district attorney.
Oh, a three-piece suit.
Underneath that suit is a man who used to play football, a man with a very short fuse. So maybe you need to stick to talking about the flu. It's healthier.
You should have told me right off. Is your fiancé Hank the Cannon Gannon?
Do you know Hank?
I know his reputation. A real winner. I've been hoping to catch up to him someday.
Thank you for making time for us, Hank.
Yeah, sure. Please, have a seat, huh? Vicky, I've always got time for you. But I am just a little confused. I recognize this gentleman from the trial. You were part of the press pool, weren't you?
Actually, no. I just borrowed a press pass from a friend. I wanted to be sure that I could always get in.
Really? And why did you need that?
Hank, this is not easy. Heaven knows I found it almost impossible to accept, but there's just so much evidence I can't look away anymore.
Mr. Gann, maybe I should explain. You asked why I needed access to the murder trial. Well, it was because I had a vested interest. You see, the victim wasn't just Vicky's father. He was mine also.
David claims to be the son of my father and Tina's mother, Irene Clayton.
Well, it's not just a claim. I can prove it.
Go on, Vicky.
Yes, it is extremely overwhelming, but he has been very convincing.
Okay, look, maybe I'm missing something here. What does Mr. Vickers' paternity have to do with the murder trial?
He's brought me evidence, very powerful evidence, that Irene Clayton and not Dorian Lord killed my father.
All right. What is this so-called evidence?
See for yourself, Mr. Gannon. This was my mother's diary.
Hank, there are letters, too. I had them all authenticated by Beau's office. His handwriting expert said Irene wrote them. Now you have to judge for yourself. But I think you will see that Dorian may very well be innocent after all.
That's one thing we don't have to worry about, Jason. Beth's baby tested negative for the virus.
Well, Beth was healthy, too.
He's safe, Jason. I can't guarantee the future, but he's fine. Trust me, okay?
Yeah, of course I trust you, Ben, but it's that word safe.
Yeah, I know.
What happened, Matt? I mean, one minute she has a fever. How does that happen?
Between us, there's more than just a flu going on here, man.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know. But I'm gonna find out, no matter what anybody says. I'm gonna solve this mystery before what happened to Beth can happen again.
Well, thank you very much for dropping this off. Virginia, please tell the vestry that I'll look this over in a week when I get rid. Are you all right, Virginia?
Oh, it's the silly cold. I can't seem to shake it. I just need some hot soup. Well, goodbye, Reverend Marty.
Bye. Say hi to Billy for me.
Yes.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
Goes for me too. Oh, and Virginia, I meant to tell you that there's a chance that Cassie and I may be able to adopt a baby.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Congratulations, Reverend.
Virginia, come on. I mean, even considering the cold, that's not exactly what I would call an enthusiastic response.
I'm not going to lie to you, Reverend. You're going to need all the luck you can get. Let me know what happens, will you?
Of course I will. Thank you.
She isn't feeling well. Don't think too much on
it's
that.
a lot more than a cold going on there. We met with Virginia a few days ago about adoption, and she said that, you know, given our history, it was passing the home studies. It's just not going to be very easy.
Yeah, but Cassie knows that. If Beth wanted you to have the baby and her family agrees.
Marty, we've got an inspection that we have got to get through, and I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm as excited as Cassie about getting this baby, but I'm just not going to let myself feel it in case the answer to this particular prayer happens to be no.
It's like a dream come true. Out of something as sad as Beth's dying.
Cassie? I've been learning lately
Oh, this is wonderful news. As soon as I'm out of here, I'm going to throw you the biggest baby shower Lambview's ever seen.
Mother, aren't you being a little overly optimistic? I mean, even with the appeals, there's no guarantee.
Cassie, didn't you just get an object lesson in hope? Never stop believing, and good things will happen.
Mother, where did you get this attitude? This place is awful, and the last time I was here to see you...
Things change. People change. The point is, I have been given a reason to hope.
What reason? Mother, do you know something that I don't know that you...
Let's just say I have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. And when I reach it, I'll have my vindication and my freedom.
Hank, you've read it now. You have to agree that it supports Chapin's testimony.
Lee Chapin was Victor Lord's butler.
I know the man, Mr. Vickers. Thank you.
I'm sure you remember his testimony, don't you? He said that Irene and Father argued the night before Father died, and then the next night, Irene was running down the hall from the direction of my father's room.
That last entry is a confession written in her own hand. We know why she was running away from the scene.
Yes, well, it's a very interesting document, Mr. Vickers.
Hank, you have no choice. You have to reopen this case.
Vicky, I've only got one thing to say. No way.